You know me, that intro always gets me every single time. I love it. Tonight, it is all about our small business owners and entrepreneurs. I'm Persia Nicole. You guys can hang out with me Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., of course, on 92Q, getting you through your midday. We have teamed up with Comcast, so it's going to be an exciting night to tell you all about the Comcast RISE program for small business grant program. It's all about you. So tonight, you'll learn how you can apply for grant opportunities and so much more. And although I know all about the program because I probably sent it to all my friends because I want everybody to win, I'm joined by the perfect people to answer all your questions, from experience to expertise. First up, Vice President of PR for Comcast Beltway Region, Kristie Fox. Kristie.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's keep it going. We also have joining us tonight 3 past Comcast RISE recipients. First up, Mujahid. He's a founder and CEO of Comcast, well, CEO of Keys Enterprises. Hi, Mujahid. Look, he's frozen. There we go. We'll get back with him. Also, Ira, co-founder of Hoodfella, Bistro, and Catering.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So excited to have you here again. And Christal, founder of C. Marie Services. Hey, Christal.
Hey, everybody.
So this is a whole family reunion. Let me tell you. So last week we were together at the Comcast RISE event downtown. It was phenomenal, by the way. Just seeing all the different business owners, entrepreneurs, everybody in the community coming together and learning your stories too, because like there's businesses you might not have known in the city, but we got a chance to really network and come together. So tonight it is a reunion, a networking event, and also a way for you to grab some money. Really quick, I want to learn about each one of you, just in case people don't know. Kristie, let's talk about you first. What exactly you do for Comcast?
Sure. Kristie Fox. I'm the Vice President of Public Relations and Employee Communications for Comcast Beltway Region. And that includes Maryland, DC, Virginia, and portions of Virginia and portions of Delaware, West Virginia, North Carolina.
All right, Mujahid.
I'm here.
You are here with a bomb painting in the back too. That is amazing.
I appreciate it. So Keys is a organization that provides therapeutic healing in non-traditional ways, finding ways to go into the community, finding the best talent amongst us, and really pouring in love to help people reach their highest potential. So we are happy to be here and great supporters of Comcast.
Absolutely. Christal, let's learn about your business.
I am Christal. I founded C. Marie Services. We provide virtual assistance to small to medium-sized service-based businesses, and we started in 2012.
Okay, Ira.
Yeah, Hoodfella's Bistro and Catering, right in the heart of downtown Baltimore. We are a full-service restaurant with catering, food truck. You name it, we got it. We have food that feeds your soul.
Good, because I'm hungry as we speak, so I'll be calling you tomorrow, okay? I'm always hungry. Comcast RISE is awarding a grant package to 100 small businesses committed to growing their business and uplifting their communities right here in the city. And of course, you are looking at people who have done this and experienced this. But Kristie, for those who don't exactly know what the program is, how they can be a part of this, who is eligible for the program, let's talk all the details.
Yeah. So Comcast RISE is a program that we founded in the end of 2020, really intended to help small, medium businesses survive the pandemic. We initially focused in on businesses owned by people of color. Then in 2021, we evolved it to businesses owned by women. And now, as we've emerged from the pandemic and we're really focused on growth, the program is open to all small, medium businesses. And for this iteration of the program, we're focusing in on 5 cities, and Baltimore is one of them, and we're thrilled about that.
I'm so excited because when I heard about this, I was like, yes, like this is what we need. And then, of course, to hear about everybody who's experienced this as well and their stories, it just really makes me feel good to know that Comcast is not only a great business, and that, you know what I mean, but they're really doing great things in the community, because not all businesses will do that. And, you know, we talked about this at an event that we had at Comcast RISE this past week. A lot of businesses, they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And Comcast RISE has walked the walk, and they show that, hey, we're really here for the culture in our community. So you really are boots on the ground. So I'm excited to be a part of this program as well. I want to talk to the past recipients because these are people who have had it firsthand already. Christal, what is something that stood out to you about Comcast RISE? Why did you say, you know what, I need to apply to this right now?
So one of my first clients, when I went completely virtual, she had me do newsletters for her, and she put grant opportunities in there every month and send it out to her network. And one day she said, Christal, have you applied to any of these? I said, no, because I'm used to grants and applications being lengthy and you need a rocket science degree. And I had my notepad and my pen and bookmarks, and I was ready to just sit down and like, okay, I'll take a couple of days and I'll do it. I logged in, and it was by far, by my surprise, the most painless application I've ever done.
I was going to ask that. You know, when you do a lot of applications, especially during COVID, you were applying to things, you're like, oh my God, like, I got to take a break and come back. Like,
I got the blood.
The blood. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to experience that. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we do hear that a lot, and that was intentionally when we created the program. Making it simple and easy was a priority for us. So that's really great to hear from Christal.
Yes. So if you're watching right now, Comcast RISE, they're, of course, awarding 100 businesses in the Baltimore area. You can look at the bottom as well. You're going to get so many different things. And this is the opportunity for people to really learn about your business. So April Shannon said, I needed this for my fitness studio. Yes, April, you do. And it's open right now, so you can actually apply. ComcastRISE.com. Just log on. Christal said it's painless. Do it while you're watching it. You know, you can be on your phone applying while you're watching us, getting more information. So it's really easy. Make sure you get it though right now. You know, don't wait until the day before. Like, get on it right now so you can feel good and know that, you know, something good can be coming to your inbox. Ira, let's talk about your experience with Comcast RISE. As soon as you applied for it, what was next?
So soon as I applied for it, they gave me a confirmation email to let me know I at least got it right. And then when they actually chose us, we were super excited around just the overall experience, right? So it was very seamless, and they kind of put us in charge of it, which we really liked. So I had my own individual that reached out to me on a consistent basis, kind of going through what it looked like. We were the recipients of the media grant. So we had a 30-second commercial that ran from like September to December. And I was amazed that they let me pick all of the networks that it ran on. So never in a million years did we think that we would be on, you know, NFL Network, you know, doing a commercial, doing a game, or like we grew up watching BET. And so to be on that network after some of your most favorite shows, I mean, Comcast really let us pick the specific demographic we were searching for. The zip codes. I mean, it was really streamlined, and even because I'm a bit of a very decisive individual. So even when I went back and forth with them in reference to what we wanted from a visual perspective, the overall message that we were trying to translate, they had no problem with it whatsoever, and kind of went back and forth with us until it was completely done, and the finished product was absolutely amazing. But even more than that, they gave us the exact product, so we were able to share it all over our social media. And it was really a dream come true. Like, really, people just walking into the restaurant or family members calling like, hey, I saw you on a commercial. Like, it was really amazing, and we're really grateful.
Ira, you can now add creative director to your resume, okay?
Yes.
Takia Carr says, I need this from a home care agency. Absolutely. If you're in the Baltimore area, please apply. We want everybody in our city to get this opportunity. I'm at Camp Springs, though. Is that limited to Bmore? So is there a certain area that you're staying in, Kristie? Is there a zip code?
So for this, we are specifically focusing in on Baltimore City. So if your business is based in Baltimore City, then you will be eligible for this round of the program. So if it's outside of that, then, you know, not eligible for this iteration of the program.
And also, do they have to have a physical building, like an address building, or can they work from home? Like, how is that set up?
You don't need a physical building. So that's a good point. So eligibility. So the business has to be in business for 3 years, based in Baltimore City, independently run. So it can't be a franchise or anything like that. And then 100 or fewer employees. So it could be a single sole proprietor, all the way up to 100.
Okay, good. That's good to know. So as you're watching right now, take your notes and know exactly what you can do. And ask all the questions too. April says, fiddlesticks next time. Fiddlesticks. I was like, fiddlesticks? What's that? Muhammad, at the event last week, you talked about your story and how you needed a certain amount of money. I think it was like $10 million. Was it $10 million that you needed?
$10 million, absolutely.
Yeah. Look at this. I went to Morgan State University. Okay. $10 million that you needed, right? And then you made your first million after this Comcast RISE program, right?
Absolutely. I want to keep representing Morgan, though. Morgan all the way.
No bad.
So I think that the benefit of this opportunity was our organization.
Mm-hmm.
We needed eyes. We needed advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
We did not have the budget. We did not have the expertise, and we did not really know how to tell the mass of people our story. We're trying to raise money for building this intergenerational center, which we call a healing village in West Baltimore, in walking distance to Coppin. It's an amazing opportunity. And if people just heard about it, I think we would have got a lot of support, but we had a lot of time advocating, but not having the ears. So what the grant allowed us to do was that it allowed us to make sure that all the eyes saw this project to the level where we started touching individuals like Senator Antonio Hayes. We started touching Nick Mosby. We started touching all of these influential people, and we were getting these calls saying, how the heck are you guys on TV right now?
Right.
Like my brother Ira said, they made sure we were on prime time. I got one call at the end that really changed the trajectory of what we were doing for me and my partners, Abdul and Keith. The call we got was from the Lieutenant General at the time, Boyd Rutherford. And he said, look, I know about the work. I know about what you were doing, but I didn't know you were having this much impact. Come see me. And that commercial, that 30 seconds, that taking the time to work with Comcast to put out this commercial led to our first $1 million. We were granted $1 million out of one thing: eyes and people being aware of the work that we're doing. And I think that from an organization standpoint, for all of us, no matter what we're doing, the hardest thing is to make sure that people know we exist. The hardest thing for a small business is to scale. And to scale, we need people to be aware of our product. And Comcast has done something, I think, for all of us that maybe we could not do for ourselves at the time, is help us scale. And that's what's going to help change Baltimore. We are the engines that hire from within our community. So when eyes are on us and we scale, so does Baltimore.
Absolutely. I agree. I was like into it. I was like, yeah, go ahead. Like, yes, Muhammad for president. Okay, listen, when it comes to Comcast RISE, there's so many different dynamic things, of course, that can happen here in our city. As a business owner, we saw so many different people pop up and say, hey, I need this for my business. I need this for my business. And you do. And this is something that once you apply, just like Christal said, it's painless. Like, you're not giving your blood. You're not giving your firstborn. And I think Ice Queens, who is a mother and daughter duo, who also is past recipients of Comcast RISE, is a perfect example of that, because it was during COVID and they shared this story last week at the Comcast RISE event. And they were trying to figure out what to do. Like, hey, bills don't stop. Business sometimes stops and it gets slower as things happen, but bills still come. You still have to pay things. And their story they shared as well was so great. So shout out to Ice Queens as well. They're a product of Comcast RISE. And also when it comes to commercials, they said that they were able to pick the voice that they wanted to. And so it just shows that, like, hey, if you're like, this voice is a bit too deep, or I need the ladies to represent my company. I think that's really cool. Kristie, what was the idea behind that? To really allow these businesses to become their own creative directors and really, be the front runner for all of their campaigns.
Yeah, I think it's just the expertise of the ads come from our effective advertising arm of our business. And I think it's, your business. And your customer. So we want to make sure that the creative and the product that you're putting out there is going to resonate and it's going to reach them in the way that you want it to. So we really want it to be authentic to the business.
Yeah. Let's talk about deadlines. Of course, we know it is open right now. It kicked off on June the 1st.
Yes, June 1st, and it will run through June 30th. So the month of June.
Okay. So is it any type of like first come, first serve, or is it just kind of like you filtering through? Like, how do you choose what businesses gets it?
Yeah, so there's a lot, in terms of the evaluation of the businesses. Two key things that will be looked at is the company's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and just their involvement and commitment to the community. So the first stage of the process is an eligibility quiz, and that's just going to go through like, is the business based in Baltimore? Have you been in business for 3 years? All of this, the eligibility, and then it gets to the application. Most of it is just selecting specific questions. There are a few questions that will allow you to provide a little bit more context around, what you're doing in the community, how you're committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then we work with a third party that does the actual evaluation of the applications. That doesn't happen from within Comcast.
Okay. So again, as you're watching right now, it's all about Comcast RISE. This is a program for small businesses in the Baltimore City area. So if you're in the Baltimore City area, you have 100 or less employees, you can apply for this program. ComcastRISE.com, and everything at the bottom you'll be eligible for. Of course, a 30-second commercial, you get some money, just something to really help you kickstart your business. If you're new, maybe you're just kind of going through it and you're like, I need that extra push, or COVID really took you out, you're trying to bounce back. This is the perfect time for you to get with this. Christal, when it came to Comcast RISE, we heard about Muhammad's story and what happened with him and the money that he got. Since being a recipient of the Comcast RISE program, what has changed for C. Marie Services?
A lot of change. So a lot has changed. I am a virtual assistant by choice. I've never liked to be seen. When I got the grant, I absolutely updated my website. And if you saw it before, there were, the canned photos of other people on my site, but I was nowhere to be found. If you visit it now, I'm on there. I got headshots. I took, professional photos. And also I got the technology makeover. So being virtual, I can work from anywhere now because I hired somebody in an IT field, and he has my laptops mirrored to my desktop. So I can see what I need to see from anywhere.
Yeah. Ira, what about you? What's changed over at Hoodfella's Bistro and Catering?
So Comcast has really helped us scale our business. Initially, during COVID, we had a small curry out in West Baltimore. We kind of fought our way through that to get the restaurant at 7 North Calvert Street, right downtown, across from both of the courthouses. But since then, since that commercial, we've really been able to scale. So now we have a food truck, so we call it a mobile kitchen, that's kind of ripping and running around the city. In addition to that, we have a really nice catering business as well. We now have a contract with Amazon, so we're kind of feeding people down at Sparrow's Point, and so really allowed us to scale and kind of turn it from Hoodfella's Bistro and Catering to really now like Hoodfella's Hospitality Group, because now we have 3 business segments now that we just really didn't have. But that commercial, that customer flow, as Muhammad said, that really notoriety, right, gave us a lot of opportunities. I mean, like, we really had people knocking on our door, asking us to partner with them in their business. We have, I don't know if you guys, anybody from Baltimore is familiar with Melba's Place. That's a staple in the community, been around for 25 years. We now have exclusivity to Melba's Place. So all of the food that come out of Melba's is Hoodfella's food as well. And so now we call that brand Hoodfella's Nightlife. So we went from 1 brand to 4 brands, all behind that commercial with Comcast. So we're extremely, extremely grateful.
Ira, come on in, Ira. Come on. This right here just speaks volumes to what Baltimore City produces and to what Comcast RISE is coming in the city and saying, hey, we see so much potential in your city. We want to make sure we enhance it. We want to make sure everybody knows about your business. And it doesn't just stop in Baltimore City. Once you are recipients of Comcast RISE, the sky's the limit. Like, you can go anywhere with this. And as you can see, these businesses we have here is going anywhere with this. They needed that extra push to help them. Like Muhammad needed that $1 million, that first $1 million to help him get in that building. And Muhammad, what is the progress so far with your building?
Okay, so life has changed, right?
Okay.
I needed that first $1 million, but that was the first domino. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
Since then, there have been a number of people that have come up, like Senator McCray, Talib Horton, so many others, to just help mentor us along this process. We are now at $5 million in hand, cash in the account for this $10 million project. The city is highly supporting us, and we're going to be building. We're going to start building in October. So life has changed, but I got to tell you, one of the biggest things that this does is small businesses have a challenge in accessing capital. We scale through having access to capital. There was a time where Keys did not have the same access to capital that it has now. That access came along through advertisement, because when people see you doing work and they happen to see you on TV, they tend to support the work that you're doing. So the more we were seeing, the more access we got. PNC Bank said, hey, we see you out there. We're willing to support you. So we now have access to $10 million to be able to finish off a product that will feed 300 persons 7 days a week, 365. So life has changed. But I have to give Comcast props, because we're in a time of this equity through corporate equity. Everyone has an equity plan. We hear about it, but we don't necessarily see it. And with Comcast, not only are we seeing it, we're seeing the benefits of their plan. Since receiving this award, not only have we received capital, but we've expanded the impact. So we usually touch about 300 families a month. We're now touching 500 families a month.
Nice.
So when we talk about healing Baltimore, the way we heal has to be through helping others. But the biggest issue around helping others, we need jobs. So how does Christal, how does Ira, how does Keys continue to hire and scale up? We make sure that more people need our services. And when more people need our services, we're able to hire. So right now, I think that we have to look at Comcast. We have to look at their equity plan as a model of how we start to use and how the business community starts to support the healing of Baltimore. Because you, Comcast, you, corporate America here in Baltimore, have the ability to hire or to mentor organizations like us to help us save our city.
Yeah, absolutely. And it starts with here in the city. You know what I mean? We're healing all together at one time. And when you talked about jobs as well, like not only, of course, is the businesses getting this big promotions to help their business grow and excel, but also helping keep their employees, because you have to be able to employ people to help your business grow and function. So Comcast doing great things, not only keep jobs here in the city, but keep these businesses continuing to grow. So for anybody who missed anything in the beginning of our program, I want to make sure we circle back. Of course, Kristie Fox is here on behalf of Comcast RISE. She's taking care of our region and make sure here in the city we have great resources like the 30-second commercials and the monetary money as well. Let's talk about that, Kristie Fox, again, exactly what Comcast RISE is and what you're doing here in the city.
Just come off mute there. So Comcast RISE is a program we started in late 2020 in the pandemic, really intended to help businesses that were struggling to survive. It's really just a fantastic program. It's evolved over the years, initially focused on people of color-owned businesses, then we evolved to women-owned businesses. Now we're opening up to all small businesses. But again, looking at companies' commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and their involvement in the community. We know very well that small businesses are the lifeblood of communities, and that's why, this program still exists today. And that's why we continue to focus on it. And, hearing the stories of, Muhammad and Christal and Ira and, so many other former Comcast RISE recipients is just so inspiring. I say this all the time. This is one of my favorite programs to work on. And I'm just thrilled that it's coming to Baltimore City. It's just, it's a fantastic program. So go to ComcastRISE.com.
And to answer Unpacked Fitness, do you live in a city do you have to live in a city, or does your physical business have to be in a city? You don't have to live in a city, but your
Nope.
physical business does have to be in Baltimore City.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, and so I think it's a good time to actually let's go back to how you're eligible, who is eligible for businesses outside of being in the city. What else do they need to make sure they have?
Yeah, so in addition to being based in Baltimore City, in business for 3 years, under 100 employees, so 1 to 100 employees, and just cannot be it needs to be a independently run company. So it can't be a franchise, it can't be anything, a larger corporation. And that's the main eligibility. I think Christal spoke a little bit to the application process. There's a short eligibility quiz, and then you go right into the main application if you go to ComcastRISE.com. And again, we really prioritized making it simple and easy and straightforward. And we hope everybody will apply.
Yes, hopefully we'll all 100 businesses here in the city. Like imagine 100 of us get this opportunity to get this amazing package, all thanks to Comcast RISE. 100 businesses. Like I can't even, next year is about to be insane in the city. Like we are building up, like seriously, like this is something that we are very thankful for here in Baltimore City. Opportunities that we continue to receive, we're very thankful for. And again, I said it like earlier, a lot of businesses talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And Comcast has absolutely done that. So we're thankful for that, Kristie. And as many business owners and entrepreneurs are watching right now live on our Facebook page or 92QQ.com, wherever you're watching, I'm sure you would love to get some tips from these entrepreneurs who have done so many successful things as business owners. Let's just give some quick tips to business owners on how they can start their business, excel in their business, what they can be doing moving forward. Christal, let's start with you. Just a tip that you would give.
Relationships are the key to growing, scaling, maintaining everything. Most of my businesses is from referral. And even being at the event last week, people are like, I didn't know this existed. I didn't know this was something that I could use. So relationships are everything. Network, relationships. And I never thought I'd say it, but putting yourself out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Ira, what would be that advice from you?
So I would say try to remember that everything begins and ends with people, right? So all things begin and end with people. And so as successful as me and my partner Ben has been over the course of this process, none of that would happen without an amazing team behind us. So really shout out to our team, to our extended family that is running all over the place with us, in the restaurant, on the food truck, at Amazon, at somebody's wedding. I mean, like these people are really sticking with us and going through the entire process with us. So they're growing as we grow. And none of that would be able to happen without amazing people. So like really trust your team, and remember everything begins and ends with people.
I love it. Muhammad, let's wrap it up with you. What's a good tip?
So gotta give two real quick. You gotta have mentorship. Have to find someone who believes in you, and you have to believe in them and trust them. The second piece is something that I live by. You cannot allow your presence to be like your absence. So you have to leave your mark wherever you are, because people are going to be attracted to what they remember. And it doesn't matter if you're selling a good or you're giving a service. When you're memorable, people will return. So don't let your absence feel like your presence.
I love that right there. Don't let your absence feel like your presence.
Me too. I gotta use that. I gotta use it.
Write these things down. These gems real quick. Kristie, of course, you work with so many different businesses and you met so many different dynamic businesses being with Comcast and Comcast RISE's program. What would be a tip that you would give as well?
To small businesses, I think, networking, I would say is certainly up there. I think what everybody has shared has been great. Take advantage of the opportunities that are out there. We've heard from some small businesses about, they've applied for a lot of grants and, they get to the point where it gets a little bit frustrating. Our grant is simple and easy. We hope that you'll apply. And one of the things I didn't touch on actually that I think is important because, Ira, Muhammad, and Christal, they all received one prize through our Comcast RISE program to date. what's really cool about this next iteration of the program is that those 100 businesses will receive all of it. So they'll get the monetary grant, they get the technology makeover, they get the commercial, and then they also get educational resources and consulting services. And I think, Christal, you mentioned to me that educational resources is something that you use. So, building a business plan, whatever it is that your particular niche is, there's probably a lot of helpful information in there to really kind of kickstart your business.
I love that. It's all about Comcast RISE. We're really all about you, small business owners and entrepreneurs. 100 small businesses committed to growing their business and uplifting their communities right here in the city will be awarded this grant package. I cannot wait to meet you and see you. You'd be like, Persia, remember you guys did that live? I was one of the recipients of Comcast RISE, so I cannot wait to hear your story. And you're looking at past recipients of Comcast RISE. Bravo on your businesses. Congratulations on everything. Kristie, thank you so much for being a part of this amazing program and helping bringing it right here to Baltimore City.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Everybody have a phenomenal night. Make sure you log on to ComcastRISE.com. Apply right now. As you're eating dinner, as you're watching reality TV, just put the TV on loud, mute, or whatever. Just apply at ComcastRISE.com so we can make sure we get 100 of you small businesses apply for this and make sure you're eligible and everything like that. So I'm excited for it and have an amazing night.